Here we go. Spoiler alert, audience. You get 2 mugs?
2 mugs, yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah, it's this special Northern special we have today.
Is it?
Yes, it's only for Northerners.
Oh, wow, it's like that. Jeez.
The accent, it gives them away every time. It's Hobie Artigue, everybody. Or as I say, Artigue, everyone.
That's wrong. Come on, my first name is already mispronounced by so many people.
What do you get, Hobby?
I get Hobby a lot.
People actually think your name is Hobby?
Yeah.
That doesn't even make sense.
I got producer Jeff earlier though because I told him that my real name was Hope Bartholomew in our meeting this morning.
And he was like,
and he truly, I could see the belief in his eyes, and I'm like, really? Come on.
Come on, buddy.
Come on, man.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Jason Show. Happy Thursday. We've got a great show in store for you. But first, Hobby Hobarthian Artigue.
Oh, that's a new one, Hobarthian.
Thank you. It's
like
been a while
Yeah,
since
it has
people
been a
have
while.
seen you. You said since last July?
July.
At least.
To my recollection.
At least.
At least since last July.
You've got some new hardware since
I
then.
do. I have jewelry that I have to wear now.
Yes, you
Not that
got
I have to
married.
wear it.
You got
Yes,
married.
I did.
And it was a beautiful, I've seen some of the pictures.
It was lovely. It was a lovely day. Family from Louisiana. My wife is from Michigan. Everybody came in for the special day. Kind of a meeting of two worlds.
Yeah, I like that.
Nice.
And then you've also, so you've gotten married, you had a ton of football.
Yes.
But you just got back from somewhere very close to your heart.
Yeah, I went to New Orleans because I went to LSU. LSU was playing in the national championship game.
In case you missed it.
In New Orleans, so that was fun. It was kind of like an all-encompassing visit home. Kind of got every aspect of Louisiana involved in it. So it was fun. It was very warm, though. It was 80 degrees.
There you go. It's like there's a ticker to this.
80 degrees. But whenever it's 2 here, and 80 there, I think 80 sounds a little bit better than 2.
Like
even
your
though it's
whole body
January.
hurts coming home.
Yeah. Yeah, and then like all the pores opened up with the humidity, and then you come back and it's like dry.
Just shrivels.
Yes.
Shrivels back up.
I should have gone to a sauna.
You should, you know what you should do?
Put
you
one in
should
my basement.
go.
No?
That's a great idea,
That's a great
Hobie,
option
but that's
too?
not where
Okay.
I was going with that.
All right.
You should go to the Como Zoo Conservatory. I was just there.
I saw your story, yes.
So it honestly, it melts your whole body. Like in a way that is so buttery good.
It melts you,
like-
but it's good.
Gosh. It's like, you know when the
So
good
how long? Like, what's a perfect time?
of year, day?
No. Time to go in and like.
I don't know. I went at like noon.
Okay. No,
And
I'm
it's
talking
just-
about like
it's
to
so-
go into it.
Hobie.
Time is apparently very relative.
It's okay. Metaphysically, it's a great time if you are
The vocabulary
feeling
today is
the
very
need,
great.
The need for some warmth, and you live in the metro area. It's free, and it's so humid.
And then
That's
you can
what
go
it is.
visit the animals if you like.
Yeah, and then there's animals, but
Sure.
mostly there's a bunch of flowers. So
Okay.
it's fantastic.
That sounds like a great time.
It is good. You know what else is a great time? Hot dish time. Everybody
Yes,
get
it
your
is.
spoons ready.
Get ready.
I've been using
Why are
chopsticks
you using? Oh, okay.
all week. It's like sushi hot dish,
Okay.
which sounds disgusting.
However, don't get
ever do
lead
that.
in the hot dish, please.
Yeah, that's true. Hey, actually, this is a sad story coming out of Hollywood. Jessica Simpson is coming out with a new memoir, and she is not holding back, girl. She reveals she was the victim of a sexual abuse at the age of 6.
Terrible.
It's awful. She told her parents about it when she was 12, so just 6 years later, but they never talked about it again. Over the years, she said she would self-medicate with alcohol and pills, eventually hitting rock bottom in 2017. It's not that long ago.
No.
Then she asked for help.
Yeah, she also talked about her relationship with John Mayer. The two dated after a split from Nick Lachey. She says she never felt smart enough for him and that he was obsessed with her sexually, which led to more anxiety and more drinking. Jessica's memoir, Open Book, hits bookstores in February. Man.
This is like, okay. He's talked about, what was the word he used? Sexual napalm? Is that what he called her?
I believe that's what you
It was
said.
something like
Yeah.
that. And so you always knew there was something odd going on.
Yeah.
Like, if you would never talk about your wife that way.
No,
Like my
there's
husband
some
would
kind of
never-
strange dynamic going on.
Yeah, and very openly public, like,
Sure.
yeah, that's what she is. And it's sad.
It is, and especially because you look back in like mid-2000s, whenever it was the reality show, and yeah, she was goofy, but you never would guess that something of that magnitude would be going on.
No, that dark.
At all.
Right.
At all. Because she was so light and bubbly, you would never guess that that's the realm that she was coming from.
She gave us the chicken of the sea, the tuna thing. Like, that's how you think
I know,
of Jessica
like
Simpson.
that's it.
Like,
not in this man.
No.
At
so,
all.
I mean, now she's got, I think she has 2 kids, I want to say. She's got 2 kids with her husband, maybe 3. It seems like now things are going pretty well.
Sure.
It was very surprising to me that she said it was as newly as like 2017 that some of this really hit the fan.
That's crazy. That's crazy. But hopefully that this coming out, if you will, and kind of sharing her story can help her heal, but also help some others.
Right.
That might be in a similar situation too. Well, next in the dish, a new documentary about Taylor Swift debuts at Sundance today, but it hits Netflix this week. The trailer for Miss Americana just dropped and goes behind the scenes with a look at the popular pop star.
Throughout my whole career, label executives would just say, a nice girl doesn't force their opinions on people. A nice girl smiles and waves and says thank you. I became the person everyone wanted me to be.
I think that Taylor Swift, she is annoying.
All of her model friends.
She's too good.
Going through guys like a train.
She's too skinny.
Nobody physically saw me for a year. And that was what I thought they wanted. I had to deconstruct an entire belief system, toss it out and reject it.
American glory faded before me.
It woke me up from constantly feeling like I was fighting for people's respect.
I saw the scoreboard and ran for my life.
It was happiness without anyone else's input.
It's been a long time coming, but
Ooh, a little darkness surrounding pop stars today. Man. Well, the movie tackles Taylor's decision to talk politics and much more. It hits Netflix next Friday.
Will you watch it?
I might.
No, you won't.
I might.
No,
My
you
wife
won't.
will watch it.
I was going to say,
probably.
you'll watch it if your wife's watching it.
Yeah, but also
Kristen will have it on.
I find Taylor Swift a very interesting person because whenever you look at her roots coming from country music and coming up the pipeline that way, and then just blowing up into this icon that she's become today.
It's true.
I'd like to see it. I would.
Okay, I think it's. I only say interesting timing because Bieber just came out with his sort of behind the scenes memoirish thing, and I think that one's on YouTube. And now she's doing one on Netflix. I do think that these get to know the star behind the scenes. They're cool, but we talk about this a lot on the show, that if you are going to have someone tell your story, show your story, you cannot have a huge hand in it. You can't be an executive producer.
And I think, but also you go to even some like biopic movies, and it's kind of the same way, where the artist has a hand in what they want. You go to Rocket Man, Elton John, I believe, had a big part in that. You go to Straight Outta Compton, Dr. Dre and Ice Cube had a big part in that as well. And so I kind of agree with you in that standpoint.
Right, yeah.
It's kind of the version of the truth that you want to portray, even though that there may be another one out there.
Because there's things about me that I'm like, I'm fantastic. And then if someone else is like, well, there was this one time, and I'd be like,
time.
We don't need to talk about that, though, in my memoir. You know what I'm saying? By the way, this song that plays throughout that, you can watch the full thing, the full promo. I'm sure she shared it on YouTube.
Shocking. Taylor Swift, dramatic music.
But it's a good song. It's called, I think it's called Miss Americana, which is the same thing.
It's better than Justin Bieber's new song since you brought him up.
Girl, you got that yummy, yummy, yummy.
Anytime I hear it on the radio.
Okay, next in the dish. Yummy is fantastic, everyone.
No, it's not.
My girl Kelly Ripa is not afraid to call out her kids on national TV. She does it all the time. And earlier this week, she put her daughter on blast for being a bit spoiled, shall we say? Take a look.
You're talking about your kids.
Yeah.
Do they order Postmates or any of the food delivery, or Uber Eats or any of the food delivery programs that when you don't know about it?
Yes.
Like you see.
I do know this only because I didn't know my daughter had Postmates. She's at college, and we signed her up for a meal program because we're not monsters. We signed her up for a meal program. But, you know, she doesn't like the meals at school, so she was ordering Postmates.
Without you knowing, right? You just would read the bill.
Yes, and, well, here's what would happen.
Please don't breathe on me.
No, here's what would happen. She would order the $7 salad, but it would cost $25
to be delivered.
Delivered 3 blocks.
In New York City.
Oh, we shut down that debit card account she had. Secret debit.
Cut off! Buy your own salad.
Just done. Okay, it wasn't heated because we all agreed. We had a very yes queen conversation about this in our pre-show meeting. Strong feelings.
Yeah, because have you ever heard of anyone doing Bite Squad, DoorDash? I've seen it out and about whenever I go to restaurants, but I've personally never done it because you and I grew up in separate parts of the country, but very similar.
Yes.
Because pizza places didn't deliver to my house.
Right, they didn't even deliver. Even pizza didn't deliver to Flower Valley, okay? No.
Cecilia is a very small town on the map where I grew up.
Right, so when you don't have that.
I got used to it, and I got accustomed to always just going to get food. And that stuck with me as an adult.
And now you're not gonna pay for it.
Exactly. Can you imagine though, a $7 salad and a $20+ delivery fee for 3 blocks? What would, I'll ask you this, I'll preface it this way. What would it take for you to do that, to spend that much money?
Irritable bowel syndrome.
I was gonna say like 2 feet of snow, but. Okay.
You can't leave the house. That's what would do it to me. But I mean, it is legit. I have looked into all those various.
That's not the response I was expecting.
You're welcome, everybody. I hope you've got a lot of coffee. But I will say I've tried to do it before, and then you get to the checkout and you're like, my $25 meal for my husband and I is $40 without a tip. What? So and then
you start doing the math in your head. When it's kind of like when you order something online or anything, and you see that shipping charge, and it's like,
the Amazon
do I
effect.
really need that? Do I really need that? No, go get your food yourself.
Yeah, go get your food, go get your coffee. We'll be right back after this.
Today on The Jason Show, it's Dax Poll Thursday. Our Hollywood insider tells us what Oprah has to say about Megxit.
You know why I support them?
And if she played a part in Harry and Meghan's decision. Plus, some young star power in our studio. We're joined by one of the kid stars of the new movie, Troop Zero, about some elementary misfits who join forces to make a big impact. And grab your slow cooker. The Cooking Mom is here with the perfect dish for your Super Bowl party or just a healthy family meal. The Jason Show is coming right back.
Emily, made a
Emily, your wife.
My sweet wife. Yeah. She made a she had it engraved.
Yeah.
She had it engraved, and it's pounded rose gold in there. So it's very. Give that bag.
It's nice.
It's nice, isn't it?
It's very nice. I have to tell you, my story is that when I got engaged to my wife, and then it was time to pick out the wedding ring, we went to the store.
Us too.
And the woman spent like 2 hours talking to my wife about her ring. This is now 18 years ago. Oh. And they're talking to my wife, and they're talking about the ring, and they're going into 2 hours. And then I said, so what do I wear? And she went, oh, and she took out a coffee can and turned it over. And like 200 of these just went clang.
Well, this is beautiful. Hey, do you have something written on in here?
Yeah, it says off, Jeff.
That's Jeff Goldblum and Conan O'Brien talking about wedding rings last
Lord.
night.
Show off your wedding ring.
Oh, this one?
Yes. Where'd you get it? I think this is interesting.
It was on Etsy because
On
we
Etsy.
kind of did the same thing. We went to the store and I wanted my wife to have the ring that she wanted. I wanted her to be able to pick it out.
Right.
Because, I mean, she has to wear it. I don't want to be the one that's going to say, oh, here's this, wear it forever. And she got this on Etsy.
I think that's
I was like,
really
I don't need
cool.
anything super fancy. It's like hammered metal.
And it's someone
And I didn't
made
want
it.
anything super shiny.
Right.
So.
Well, and I say someone made it, like, duh, someone made it.
Of course.
But I mean more, it's usually a small business that's trying to get their name out there.
I believe it was a small business in Colorado.
See?
I made it. So
the things
I wanted
you
that kind of
learn.
look, and she found it.
They hammered it right on his finger. Hey, more late night. If you ever have used Google Translate, you know the translation is more of a suggestion, shall we say? Jimmy Fallon and Halsey sang some well-known songs, and they used Google Translate to translate the lyrics from English to Polish, and then they had it translated back to English.
I'm excited.
Check this out.
Yes, you force my emotion, freshly reflect on
stormy alphabet as a two. That's why we had a girl.
Say because.
Heart attacks do not happen.
Say because.
I haven't ever said whoops.
Say because.
You have failed in hearing. And I desire roads.
I want it that way.
Whoever came up with that idea is a genius.
Pay them.
That
Pay
is
them.
unbelievable. That is fantastic.
I just like you want, and you if you look at the translation, you're like, I could see where
I
they
can see
get
where it would go, but still.
Oh gosh, it's so great.
Oh, my
By the way,
goodness.
Halsey was there because she's making the rounds, and she's this week's music guest on SNL. We should do that.
We should. But people would probably change the channel because then they would hear us sing. I mean, at least Halsey's a singer. Jimmy Fallon has some entertainment experience.
Then there's
and
us.
then it would be us. It'd be like karaoke night, Jason show.
Gone wrong.
That could be fun, though. All right, next in the dish. Sad news for me, though. A show I recently got into could be getting the axe from Netflix. Mindhunter, a true crime series about FBI agents who began to start profiling serial killers. It could be done after just 2 seasons. This, after the cast was released from their contracts. The show stars Jonathan Groff as a special agent, has gotten some pretty rave reviews. It's a very interesting show because it's about the FBI and how they began to start tracking serial killers.
So
like the term serial killer came from this group of people.
Okay.
Because they were meeting and they were just trying to find the habitual behaviors.
So was this started in the 60s, 70s, when you...
Late 70s.
Okay.
Late 70s.
When
And so
Seattle was
that's-
scary.
Say again?
It was scary out there in like Seattle and Oregon. That's where all those crazy people
Oregon
were.
is one of the places that they visit. Yeah, it's a few people. It's a few places, and they like sit down with people who are serial killers
And they
try
pick
to
their brain.
And they pick their brain.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Sounds great,
Don't
Hobie.
watch it before you go to bed.
I will say though.
It's very interesting. I find it more interesting than it is scary.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
into
it's
that.
not-
I
it's
love
not-
like
it's-
Dateline.
It's very similar to that. It's very
Oh.
similar to that.
Okay. Well, and Days of Our Lives, we've been talking about this on the show.
Yeah.
They cut all their contracts, but then we think are bringing people back. So it doesn't necessarily mean the end is near for you and
they
your
have time to figure it out.
mind
There's always
people.
time to figure it out.
Always time. Hey, and there's always time for more Hot Dish. For that, we go to our Insider to the Stars. Please welcome Dax Holt from Hollywood Pipeline. Hi, Dax.
Hello, good morning. How are you guys?
Doing well.
Doing well. I have to ask, Jason always does this, and I need to know. It was horrid out here this morning, like slushy, 30 at the high today. What's it like in California?
Well, not that.
Bring our hopes and dreams just crashing down. Womp, womp, womp.
It was 60 or so. I went
Let me
for a
guess,
run
people
this
still have
morning
parkas.
outside, so
Let me
not
guess.
So bad.
Have you seen someone with a jacket yet?
Yes, but that was at like 5 in the morning. So
Okay.
come
Legit.
off by now.
Okay.
It's legit. Okay, well, we have some important things to talk about. One is a child actor, made a name for herself, and then is like really buff. Went from being someone who was kind of cast as a bigger dude to now
Yeah.
being a buffer dude.
Yeah, so Ian Suppley, who I think most people would know him from My Name is Earl, the TV show. He became very famous off that show, but he was always kind of like the bigger, funny guy. That's how everyone knew him. And come to find out, he's lost a ton of weight, and he is now a huge gym buff. He apparently lost around 200 pounds or something, but went from 550 down to 265.
Wow.
And unrecognizable. He looks great, but he kind of opened up about his weight loss journey on his podcast, American Glutton, and just saying, look, I had this relationship with food since I was 5 years old. It was kind of like a love-hate relationship, but then he realized he would just start binge eating through most of his life, and he said he would hide it from friends and family, and then he remembers going out to like nightclubs and partying, and then on the way home, he would always sneak in an extra meal when everyone else was going to bed. He would go through a drive-through, eat more, and he said, I had to change the way that I looked at food. And it was funny because the photos that we got of him is actually him going to the gym. So,
wow.
He looks great, and I think that it is inspiring a lot of people to kind of follow in his footsteps.
Well, that's what I was going to say, is that I think a lot of people struggle with that. They know that feeling of almost hiding what you're eating, but you can see it, and so good for him. That's pretty
awesome.
cool.
All right, Dax, next up, you had Anna Lynn McCord on your podcast. What'd she have to say?
Well, this was a very deep podcast. You know, normally on the Hollywood Pipeline podcast, we keep it fun, we keep it entertaining, kind of revealing that that extra wall in Hollywood and talking about stuff that normal people don't talk about. Well, this was something that she really hasn't talked about in the past, and she opened up about a lot of sexual abuse when she was a child. And, she dove into it. She said she's been realizing over the years, talked about the moment that she actually confronted the person, but it took her almost 25 years to confront the person. But it wasn't like that. It shaped her entire life. And she realizes how her, at a young age, this abuse that she suffered, it messed up everything for her. And she talks all about it, gets really into depth, and then talks about another incident that she had when she was 18 years old. But this is kind of the first time she's ever opened up, and I think she felt very like it was cathartic for her to release a lot of this information. So we actually ended up breaking up into a 2-part episode because we didn't want to get her off the telephone. She was just so open and honest and real. So I encourage people to go to iTunes, check it out on the Hollywood Pipeline podcast, because I think that her journey is also helping other people, face their realities as well.
Oh, absolutely. Whatever people might think of the Me Too movement, I mean, it is giving people an ability to speak their voice and speak their truth. I think that is important. All right, finally, Oprah, the big O. She's talking about the royals. What is she saying?
Oh, she is Team Harry and Meghan. I will tell you that much. She is not siding with the Queen on this one. But my buddy Adam Glenn, who's actually my podcast host, Adam, he's a photojournalist out in New York, caught up with Oprah in the streets and asked her all about Meghan and Harry because she's friends with them. She was at the wedding, and she says, "I am all for what they need to do." She said, if you listen to their statement, it's about a family trying to decide what's best for them. And she said, and I'm all for that. She goes, I'm not inspired by it, but I encourage someone to do what's best for them. And I think that she understands there's probably a lot of drama behind the scenes, and it's probably not the easiest. Like, we all look at being a royal as the most glamorous thing out there, but I don't think it is. I think you lose a lot of your privacy. I think one of the big issues that Meghan is having is the fact that their son has to be photographed all the time, and she can't really keep him private because people are paying their bills. And so the people of the UK feel that it is their right to have access to them, have access to their son. And she's going, I don't want that. I would rather pay my own bills and do stuff that I want to do.
And she was in the spotlight as an actress, but this is just a totally different spotlight to get used to.
Right.
Well,
I don't know if you ever
is a
came.
whole nother level of fame. Like, you've got A-list celebrities, then you've got like royalty, and it's different.
Right.
All right, Dax Holt from Hollywood Pipeline. As always, thank you for joining us, man.
Thanks, guys. Have a great one.
Bye.
All right.
I think that's fascinating, the thing with the royals, but also the whole thing. Just the whole Oprah part of it. It just blows my mind. I'm like, how does Oprah have a hand in
Oprah
this?
is kind of royalty in her own right.
She kind of is. You're
So
very
I think she
right.
can speak her mind.
Speak, Oprah.
Oh, yes.
Speak.
Still ahead. The cooking mom is here with something. I'm not saying yummy because that's what's in the prompter. And I knew you were going to say that. Some great, delicious dishes for the Super Bowl.
Sorry,
Next, we're chatting with child actor Milan Ray about her new movie in which she shares the big screen with Viola Davis and Allison Janney.
And then Shayne heads to the Winter Carnival where the ice sculptors are getting ready. We'll be right back, everybody.
Cool.
I would
You know how much time it would take to do that?
I would
I don't have.
And welcome back. Happy Thursday, everybody.
I have to remember that it was Thursday.
Did it take you a second? Did you think it was Wednesday?
No, I actually thought it was Friday, which is even.
We can
hurts my heart.
pretend. We can
We
pretend.
can.
Hey, our next guest stars in a new movie alongside a couple names you might know: Viola Davis, McKenna Grace, Jim Gaffigan, and the one and only Allison Janney. It's all about a group of elementary school misfits on a mission to win a talent show. Here's a little clip from a movie I loved, Troop Zero.
Good afternoon, birdies. Who's excited for Jamboree? There's something special this year, an opportunity to be a part of science. This is Dr. Prasad, all the way from NASA.
We are putting together a record of life to launch into space. We will be recording people at the Jamboree.
Raise your hands if you like to think about outer space.
They're girls.
Want to be Birdie Scout? I want to go to Jamboree. Jamboree is a talent show. Is that you, or is trash you?
All right, that's a clip from Troop Zero, available now on Amazon Prime. And one of the stars of the show, Milan Ray, joining us here in studio. Thank you very much for joining us today.
No problem. Thank you for having me.
Of course. So give us a quick little breakdown of what is this movie about. When people turn it on, what can they expect?
So it's about this girl named Christmas Flint. She's a bit weirder than everybody else to everybody else, and people make fun of her about it, and she feels alone and she wants friends. So she thinks the only way to get friends is the aliens, because she thinks they're just as weird as her. So when she
that's a very interesting concept. I like it.
Yeah. So when she finds out that you can put your voice on the golden record that's going to go out to space, if you win a talent show, she's determined to win this talent show. But then she knows that she needs a group, so she just finds people that she thinks can help her win, and then they become friends in the process.
That's awesome.
You know, sitting here talking to you, you are so different than the girl you play on screen. Your name in the movie is Hell No. It's amazing. What was it like? Was it really fun getting to play this person that is nothing like you? She's not the bully, because the bully happens to be a different girl, but she kind of starts off a little rough, and then you get to see that she's a pretty cool girl. What was that like?
It was fun, because it was like you said, she's like, we have our similarities, but we're not really alike. So she bullies because she needs food for her and Smash. So she has her reasons, but then when she finds her troop, she's like, okay, I guess I can trust them, and then she opens up.
Now, you were really excited about this when you found out where the movie was filmed.
Oh yeah, apparently it was filmed in Louisiana.
Yeah.
Where Hobie's from.
So, but it takes place in Georgia, right?
Yes.
So you don't have much of an accent. How much of an accent did you have to put on? Do you have to practice a lot?
Yeah, because my cousins, like most of my cousins that I hang out with a lot, are from Atlanta.
Okay.
So every time they're over.
Oh, so you had like.
Yeah,
I had a little bit. A cheat. Nice.
Yeah. And then there was someone on set helping us with our accents, which was very helpful.
Yeah.
And then that just made it easier.
I loved the part, you guys say, no, I'm going to say it wrong because I don't have the right accent. Funna? You say funna. Like the whole movie.
Yeah.
And I'm talking to Hobie about this, and he's like, but that's not how you say it.
You change the vowels.
Yeah, usually it's
finna.
Yeah, usually it's finna. That's what I hear.
Because it's like, I'm fixing to do something. And then you run it all together.
And it's finna.
It's like, I'm finna take a sip of water from the mug over there.
I love that though, but you guys did fun. Do you know why they had you do that? Was it just kind of to be a fun little quirk in the movie, you think?
I guess, because it's like a mix of gonna and finna.
Oh, yes,
I like
that's how they used it. Yes, that is what it was.
Yeah.
Oh gosh. Okay, so without giving anything away, one of my favorite scenes, two of them, they both involve you kind of coming to the rescue of Christmas, right? The main character. One of them is when you go camping. I love that scene where you kind of help her through things, where you guys kind of bond as a team. The other one is during the show. There might have been something with wetting the pants. We'll just say that. How many times did you have to film that scene? Because I have to imagine you guys just were roaring, laughing the whole time.
Yeah, so it's actually, we were kind of upset because there were supposed to be machines like attached to our pants to make actual water come out.
Like, how does this happen?
But for some reason it wasn't working, so they just edited it in.
Okay.
Oh, you couldn't. Oh my gosh, I was like, how do you do that?
Yeah.
These are the things we need.
It's
to
the
know.
magic of Hollywood. Come on, Kendall.
It's the magic.
So you mentioned this movie is about a troop of friends getting together and growing together. How much do you feel that you and your co-stars kind of did that together on a movie set?
We are so close. It's funny how close we are, because just a week ago, I was doing another interview, and my phone just kept on dinging, and I was like, what is going on? And we have a group chat, And I
Oh,
checked,
that's cool.
I checked my messages, and it says I have like 163 missed messages. I was like, I need to turn my phone off. I don't know what they're doing.
You guys really are Troop Zero.
Wow.
You
Yeah.
really
You
are.
truly become it.
I have
awesome.
to, before we go, I want to ask, what was, you said, you were with all these big stars, they were so amazing, but you got the closest with your group. What was your favorite part about filming, or like your favorite scene that you did in the movie?
My favorite scene filming was definitely the food fight.
Oh, yeah.
But the only thing I didn't like about it was because afterwards there was like the syrup, flour sprinkles in my hair.
Oh, no.
And it was so hard to get out. I had nightmares.
Nightmares about it. You're 12 years old, correct?
Yes.
Girl, you've a great
Bright
career ahead of you.
future
This
ahead.
was such a good movie. You guys have to check it out.
All right, Milan Ray from Troop Zero. It's streaming right now on Amazon Prime. Thank you very much for joining us today.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, well, still ahead, Shayne heads to the Winter Carnival in St. Paul and gives us a preview. That's when we come back.
We have to take a selfie.
Oh, yeah.
Me too.
Well, yeah. The Jason Show continues. Is it that difficult?
Working with you? Absolutely not.
Because apparently you're doing like breathing lessons.
Well, Evan
calming
told me to
yourself
take a
down.
deep breath, so I was just practicing.
Oh.
She was great. Can you believe she was 12 years old?
Not at all.
Oh my gosh. I mean,
She said
she's
she's
tiny,
done two
so
movies, but I can tell that there are many
she's-
more in her
Yes, she was fantastic.
All right, well, welcome back to the Jason Show, and it's a festival that celebrates the cold and the snow. The St. Paul Winter Carnival that kicks off today.
Only in Minnesota. From ice carving to parades to snow slides, it's the coolest celebration on earth.
I see what you did there.
Get it? It's got something for everyone in the family, and of course, our buddy Shayne Wells has a preview from the capital city.
The Winter Carnival is back at Rice Park, so that's what we have going on behind us. That's where like the big ice bar is and a lot of other fun stuff. Then behind us, if you cross the street, we have the new warming house right here. So that's where you can go in, get a little toasty. This was the ice skating rink in years past, but that now moved to CHS Field. And then we're coming over to one of the most exciting parts of Winter Carnival. You know it, you love it, fire and ice, we got the ice carving competition. And we have the master carver with us this morning, but he's got a flame instead of ice tools. What does that do to the ice? It shines it up?
Yeah, it makes it a perfect polish. So it really gets all the snow off it and really makes it so it's a pristine block of ice.
There's got to be a fine line though between too much fire and ice, correct?
Yes.
Okay. I got a little nervous with you doing that.
Right. With temperatures like this, it's pretty good to torch it. If it's too cold, like last year when it was minus 30,
yes,
you couldn't do that. It would
Really?
just shatter the ice. Yeah.
Okay, good to know.
Yes.
Chris Orbick, you were with Ice Occasions Midwest. You're the master carver, but you also have been part of this competition many, many times. Tell us, it starts off tonight, temperatures kind of depending, but how does it work for teams?
Yeah, so there's 2 to 4 carvers on each team, and then they'll start tonight. It'll depend on the weather, and each carver will decide whether they got so much work they want to get done and get stacking. Yeah. Some will work, wait and start later, and then work, till wee hours of the morning, and then sleep tomorrow morning, and then get back at it again tomorrow night. But yeah, it's pretty intense 2 days for all the artists that will be involved.
And you said you spent almost a day stacking sometimes, and just the stacking of the ice. That's major.
Yeah, because each block of ice is 300 pounds, so they have to lift it, and a lot of pieces can be 10 feet tall, and they really got to get that ice cut, prepped, stacked, and then layers of water put in there so it all holds together when they take it apart.
Now this is your ice bar.
Correct.
What was this to begin with? How many blocks
This was
of ice?
5 blocks of ice, so
Okay.
5 300-pound blocks of ice.
Trying to visualize. Okay.
Yeah, so you can kind of see the seam. So this is one block here, another block there, another block there, and then one block was split in half to make the bar top.
Okay, and then this is really cool too, the colors that you see in there. How do you do that in ice?
Yeah, so this is done actually with colored gelatin, Jello and tempera paint. So we make a mixture, and then we actually do it reversed on the back side of the ice.
That's tricky.
And then we've got to clean it all out, and then we actually paint it, each color, into the different areas and let it set.
Now you have a great array of tools out for us here, but I have to know, what's maybe one of the weirdest things that you've turned into a tool? Because you can use anything in this competition, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah, we do have a lot of handmade tools. We've actually used a dog bowl before to make spheres.
Awesome. Well, thanks for all the insight, because we always see those finished, sculptures, and it's like, how in the heck is that done? We know a little bit more now. Chris Horvick, thanks for joining us, and we'll send it back to you, Kendall and Hobie, in the studio.
Thank you, Shayne. I love a good ice bar.
Thank you, Shayne.
I'm Southern too, sometimes.
Southern Minnesota.
Yeah, Southeastern to be specific.
You know what, we were talking though, what would be the perfect temperature for this?
I would say a solid,
right now. If it was like, what?
I think right now it's too warm. We're at we're getting to 35.
I could agree with you to an
I'm
extent.
like 25, fully layered, and you're having a drink that kind of warms you up.
Okay.
That is the perfect temperature.
That's the perfect temperature. It's
the perfect date.
That's what I was thinking of. I was thinking
25th.
it sounds like the scene in Miss Congeniality. All right, the St. Paul Winter Carnival, it runs through February 2nd.
Oh, and that's a perfect date, everyone. Still ahead, the cooking mom is getting us ready for the Super Bowl, and it's a healthy recipe. We'll be right back.
Find the perfect date to go on the perfect date at the Winter Carnival.
You should try it sometime.
I did whenever we came back from the last time.
Just so everyone knows, it's April 25th is the perfect date. Hope he was right. We don't know how he knows that. Hey,
Take me
welcome
to trivia.
back.
Let's go. Come on.
Take him to trivia. When it comes to easy cooking, literally nothing beats a slow cooker recipe.
Especially at this time of the year. And the cooking mom, Amy Hampton, has a great recipe that's not only healthier, but also great for Super Bowl Sunday as well. Here's Amy.
Hey everybody, I have a really fun, delicious new slow cooker recipe I wanted to share with you today. I love my slow cooker, especially in the winter. It just makes life so much easier. You come home after a long day, the house smells amazing, and dinner is done. But I think we do a lot of the same things in the slow cooker, so sometimes it's fun to change things up, get out of that recipe rut and do something new. And I love this recipe because it's got a lot of flavor and it's healthy. So it's a healthy recipe for the new year, and it's something different. It's kid-friendly, and it comes together in minutes. It's my slow cooker honey lime chicken, and it is to die for. Perfect for the big game, by the way, or game day party. So the first thing you're gonna do is you're gonna start out with a couple of pounds of boneless, skinless chicken breast. You could also use the boneless, skinless chicken thighs. And I'm just gonna drizzle them with a little bit of olive oil, just to, help. These are very lean, and the olive oil will help just give it a little bit of fat. It's really important when you're doing slow cooking to have a lot of great flavor. This is going to cook low and slow in this wonderful braising liquid, and that makes all the difference in slow cooking recipes. In old school, we just dump a little water in there, and the recipes were okay, but these days we're demanding a little bit more. We're all becoming foodies, so it's really important to have a lot of great flavor in your braising liquid. So just dump your chicken breasts that are coated with some olive oil into your slow cooker. And then we're really gonna season these up and give them some great Southwestern flavor. So I've got some cumin, I've got some chili powder, I've got some onion powder, garlic powder, and a little bit of paprika. If you like a little kick, you could do a little bit of cayenne, or chipotle powder would be really good. You notice there's a generous amount of seasoning. Again, that's the other thing that's gonna give these chicken breasts, because we're not taking the time to brown them. We're just throwing them in here raw, some great flavor. So just coat up these chicken breasts really well. This is one of my new favorite recipes. It's so, so good. So then you're gonna take 1 cup of a green salsa, or even green enchilada sauce. I really like using the green rather than the red. I think it works great for this flavor, but if all you have is just the traditional red salsa, that will work too. Fresh lime juice, use fresh for this recipe if you can, and then some honey. So the honey adds just a tad of sweetness. So then the lid goes on, you turn this on low, and let it cook low and slow for about 4 to 5 hours. A lot of the new slow cookers have these settings, so you can kind of set it and forget it. So chicken is one of those things that you don't really need it to cook 8 to 10 hours. So if you have one of these slow cookers that you can just set it and forget it, set it to like 4 to 5 hours, it'll stop the cooking but keep it nice and warm when you get home. Oh my gosh, if you could smell this right now, it smells so good. So at this point, the chicken is tender as all get out, and there's this great sauce from the honey and the lime and the salsa. And you just get in there and shred it up. It's just fork tender like this. This is a great make-ahead. You could make it the day before your game day party, and then just put out a bunch of fixins. And there's lots of ways you can do this. So I love to serve these in tortillas. So just some flour or corn tortillas, put those out, warm them up a little bit. You can warm them in the oven. But if you're watching your carbs, this is great. You could make chicken burrito bowls. You could throw this over nachos if you're being a little naughty. You could throw it over like a Southwest Tex-Mex salad. The chicken is to die for. Sometimes I'll double the recipe, and it also freezes really well. And then you serve us with your favorite fixins. You can squeeze a little fresh lime over the top. We're keeping it a little healthy for the new year, so I've got some pico de gallo, some extra cilantro. You could do a little bit of sour cream. So there we go. It's healthy, it's delicious, something different for your slow cooker. I think the whole family will dive right in and really dig it. And you can get this recipe on my website, thecookingmom.com. Enjoy.
Yum.
We started doing that at our house.
The cooking mom? Or shredding chicken?
Shredded chicken tacos, but I might have to try that one. That one looks pretty good.
It does look real good. All of her stuff is always delicious. When she comes and we can eat it. Oh, you like how I said it that way? When we can eat it? Because she's not here.
You know what?
Makes me sad. Hey, like Amy said, if you want any of her recipes, you just have to go to thecookingmom.com and you can check out Amy's cookbook, The Cooking Mom Cooks Up Memories, right there.
All right.
It's a good one. We'll be right back, everybody. I want a taco! I know.
I have to go get lunch. Now you're forcing me to take
I know. Oh, everybody, welcome back. Hey, you know, Jason's not here today. He will be back on Monday, though, so obviously we don't have an audience today. We won't have an audience tomorrow. But if you want to be a part of our audience next week or anytime thereafter, it's very easy. You just go to the Jason Show's Facebook page. You see it right there on your screen, facebook.com/JasonShowTV. Reserve your seats by clicking on the ticket tab. You're in by 9:15, out by 11:15. And when you're here, you get to gab with Jason. I honestly, people don't really get that. It's free, and afterwards,
It's
he always
interactive.
talks to everyone for about
Absolutely.
20 minutes afterwards,
Absolutely.
which is
It's
great.
an interactive experience if you come. However, though, I think Floor Director Evan is doing a great job as our
Controlling
supplemental
as
audience
our
today.
one and only audience member.
It's great. Yes,
Thank
and
you.
there's the clapping.
Thank you. Brad, if you could work
Thank
on
you.
your clapping back
Brad,
there
please.
too. He's busy. on
Eric,
his
Eric, we know you're
phone.
operating the jib camera, so that's a different story.
We need you guys. Be here on Monday. We'll be right back to wrap up the show.
There it is, Evan. Yes. Yes. Woo!
You guys,
We're still talking about the food delivery.
this is very important. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I'm curious. If you guys have thoughts on this, let us know on the social medias, because we genuinely are like, who does order food? Like, what is the point? Because it always
What's
comes
the protocol
wrong.
that runs through your mind of, okay, is there a checklist that it has to hit?
Right. Like,
It-
what's
like
what's
what-
the min and max, you
Exactly.
know?
Exactly.
What's your thing? Because we're clearly very into this. You guys will be very into this. Now, I had no idea that the American Girl doll store closed. Apparently it did. But before we go today, we have what is going to replace it. M&M's is opening an experiential retail store at the good old
I love the
MOA
name of
later
that,
this
though.
year. Experiential? Yes.
Retail store.
Oh, retail store, yes. It will, like I said, take over the place of the American Girl store, which closed last year. That was right, you know, it's
A part of you
connected to-
died in the morning meeting today.
I
could
did.
tell.
I was like, oh,
I
I'm
could tell.
clearly such a big supporter. Gosh, I'm terrible. The store will be similar to other stores, like you've seen probably the one in Vegas or New York City. There's one in London, which I haven't seen because I haven't been to London. It's going to feature a wall of chocolate and a chance to personalize M&Ms. Store opens in late 2020.
The M&M is a great candy, by the way.
I think it's highly overrated.
I think it's highly underrated. Because
Really?
I think a lot of people want like a candy bar, but this is like just on the go.
On the go? I
On the
don't
go
know.
chocolate, why not?
I don't know about this. I like, honestly, like, to me, the peanut butter, that's okay, but like straight up M&Ms, like when you are a kid and you go
Oh,
to
come
Halloween and
on.
somebody gives you the M&Ms, like get rid of that. Don't
At
put
least
that in
they
my bag.
gave you M&Ms and something that you recognized, and it wasn't like the little strawberry candies. Remember those? Little strawberry
So,
candies?
did you just rip the strawberry candies?
Like the little ones in like the strawberry
In the little
wrapper.
strawberry wrap-
Yeah.
I love those.
I'm
Those
so sorry for
changed
offending
lives.
you. I did not realize it changed your life.
Hobie, when I
my
see
goodness.
those, I'm like.
From the American Girl doll store closing to me ripping strawberry candies.
To delivering food. It's
You
been
will
a
not make
show.
it. You will not.
Someday
So sorry.
Hobie will be back, everybody. Someday. Actually, it was really fun hanging out with you today.
my friend.
Shayne will be back with me tomorrow. Jason will be back, of course, on Monday. And tomorrow, if you are watching the show, which you should be, we've got someone who stars on the Trading Spaces reboot. Carpenter Brett Tudor joins us in studio ahead of his appearance at the Minneapolis Home and Remodeling Show. Plus, I'm going to introduce you to some new animals at the Minnesota Zoo.
Oh, that sounds fun.
Oh, gosh, it's going to be amazing. See you guys on
What kind of
Friday.
animals?